Thanks for tuning in again, everybody. We're back with your favorite podcast, Luca's Tigers and Bronze. Oh my.
Today's going to be a really, really fun episode. The big man, he left his house, left hibernating in the winter, and he went to a card show. And something super, super cool happened. It's something that, I kind of had a feeling would eventually happen. I just can't believe it's 7 months in. You were recognized.
Oh, yeah.
That's got to be kind of a cool feeling, Cage. You were in line waiting to get in?
Yep. I took a picture of the line, and like 5 minutes after I took the picture, somebody walked up and said, Cage? And, I'm wearing a Panini mask. It's Jacob's Dynasty Sports comes over. He says, I'm up ahead in the line a little bit. He's got his son there with him. I waved. We said hello. We were already chatting with some folks behind us online also about what to buy and that kind of stuff. And yeah, it was, we chatted for a bit, also a lawyer, got into, what he's doing there, what he's looking to buy, all that stuff. The line was crazy, raining, cold, but a lot of kids there with their dads, which was a cool thing. It was a cool thing to see. So yeah, definitely enjoyed it.
My takeaway from it? We haven't marketed it at all. We just come on, do a podcast, clip some moments, put some memes out there, do a few giveaways. We haven't run ads. We haven't marketed. It's all you guys out there on the other end. Everything that we build here is all word of mouth, thanks to the fact that you guys care, you listen, you share. That was pretty cool. When I read that message, and a ton of DMs came through this morning. I've been DMing with a lot of people. It's just cool to really, really see and feel the community we're building. And we're just getting started. This is just the beginning. We're going to bring on new shows, bigger shows. We're going to keep doing more content for you guys because it's really not about the cards. Cage had an amazing year last year. He's picked up some grail. I bet you guys on the other end have no clue what they are because we're not here about showboating our cards. We're here about making you guys money and sharing the strategies, tips, platforms, if we talk about Top Shot, that are the next big thing and trying to get you guys on there early. I want to talk about NBA, given that we're kind of at the midway point, and I have 6 guys I want to talk about. But before I jump into that, what's on the big man's mind? How do you have such a fresh haircut all the time? I don't get it.
Man, it looks good, right? It looks nice. I think it looks good. It's called product. That's the deal. But I can't wait to hear about the NBA stuff. It's going to be interesting. But yeah, it's cool. Luca Nation and folks listen to this. You're part of something fun. There's a trade room there. Ian was making trades. It was a lot of fun. And a couple guys sitting at a table, and we were looking at cards. We didn't finish up trading. I said, "All right, let me follow you guys on Instagram. What's your accounts?" And they hold up their page. And I'm like, "This is me." And they're like, "Whoa, we listened to that, yeah, all right." So that was a cool thing, because we haven't had that in a while. It's one thing online and the messages and the whole deal, but you put a face to the name, you get a business card, you get all that fun stuff. People trading, trading with other members. People from Clubhouse came up. "Oh, I was just talking to you about UFC," or "I know you're a Yankee fan, and I knew you were going to be here. I bought some Jesse Dominguez cards to trade with you." And I'm like, "All right, let's trade," So it was definitely fun. It was nice. That stuff's going to start to happen a little more often now. And, initially my thought was, could that have us take a step back? This thing boomed because of everybody stuck at home doing nothing and, the online buying and everybody doing this stuff from their houses. And I'm like, when the world opens back up, is it going to be bad? I think it's going to be good. This was cool. Obviously, a lot of people want to go to this thing.
This is the trade little Ian made. This little 7-year-old kid just absolutely took a guy. He gave him a PSA 10 Zach LaVine rookie selling at the high. Right now, Zach LaVine just made the All-Star game, so he's at a high point for 2 blasters. Was it Mosaic blasters?
2 Mosaic blasters, yep. And
Zach LaVine PSA 10.
And a LeBron Prism Ruby Wave PSA 10.
No way.
Yep.
Wow. Great deal.
Yeah.
Great deal. Let us know in the comments on any of the posts. Who do you think won that deal? I think it's clearly Ian. But Cage, repeat the trade. It was Zach LaVine PSA 10, just a basic.
So he gave up a Prism PSA 10 Zach LaVine rookie and a Miles Sanders orange Prism rookie PSA 9. Those were Ian's end of the deal. And he got back 2 Mosaic blasters that he opened. He got a Ja. Not a Ja debut, a Ja, real Ja. And he got the 2019-2020 Prism Ruby Wave LeBron PSA 10. So it's pretty nice card. I mean, it's not exactly lopsided, but I'd love to hear in the comments what people think. And I traded a whole bunch of stuff. I got a Barry Sanders. I was just throwing Tatis cards around, like it was like they were currency.
These were your NFTs
Tatis was the money. Nobody would take a Top Shot though. I was asking people, hey, would anybody trade me some cards for moments? And nobody. We are not there yet. So that was fun. Okay, but that'll change.
We're at the midway point of the NBA season. I want to bring up six guys we haven't talked as much about. And I want to hear if you think that they're a buy, a sell, and do you think for the remainder of the year they're going to overperform or underperform?
Okay.
I'm going to start with Jason Tatum. Celtics are not playing well right now at all.
I meant to look this up today, but I was on a clubhouse last night with a bunch of guys, and somebody said, "Oh, Jason Tatum just grabbed the back of his leg." And I don't know whether or not they were messing around or what the story was, but, I'm like, oh, man, talk about, card value. Everyone sell those cards now. Tatum. It's hard to think that he would be worse. The Celtics just don't seem to have it this year. There seem to be significantly better teams in the East. He's not a guy I would be buying myself because even if they right the ship and they do their best, I don't see them really competing with the Nets. I think there are probably 2 or 3 teams in the East that would take them out pretty easily. So he's not somebody I'm buying. I'm a little surprised because, he did take a step up last year from the year before. He did not take any type of a step up. And I think a lot of people would say he took a step back. Next.
Love it. So the reason I'm asking, this morning was crazy. There were so many DMs from you guys on our Luca account and to me personally. I'll tell you, please keep those coming. That was super fun. I would buy Tatum in the offseason. He, to me, seems like a perfect buy this offseason. Nothing they're going to do, the Celtics are going to do, is going to be anything exciting for the remainder of the year. I see them as a first-round exit, maybe second round at best. I think Tatum is an amazing offseason buy. His cards are going to I think they're going to fall to the lowest they've been in a long time, and you're going to be able to scoop Tatum in the offseason. Next, Spider Mitchell. Donovan.
I'd be a buy on him. Right, I'm a believer in the Jazz. His cards have gone up a little bit, but nowhere near what they should be based on that team winning. I know Davis is injured, but they made the Lakers look like a JV team the other day. They look good. They're the best record, best record in the West. I like the team, man. I mean, Rudy Gobert is the poster child for the COVID stuff, so that's a lot of fun. But yeah, Spider, he doesn't get any credit. And even the game I was watching recently this week, where he wasn't scoring as much, he was still filling up the stat sheet. He realized he wasn't scoring, his shot wasn't there, and he was assists. I saw him get a bunch of rebounds. I don't know if he finished with the triple, but he was definitely on pace for him while I was watching the game. I like him. He's somebody I'd buy.
I love it. We were riffing with Pack Luck cards in the Top Shot group, and just a little Top Shot, tip or strategy. Spider Mitchell cards are really cheap, or Spider Mitchell moments, Series 2 moments cheap. And for just a little tip on Top Shot, John Moran has 2 Series top 2 moments. He has this out of 7,500 out of 15,000. If you're on Top Shot, look for guys with 1 Series 2 moment out of 15,000. It's a big underpriced opportunity. Trae Young.
It's funny. I'm in the trade room.
Can I add something before you go in? I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
The Oklahoma City Thunder yesterday without Al Horford and Diallo, and now they have the exact same record as the rebuilding Oklahoma City Thunder. Proceed. Yeah. Cue Levine here, by the way.
It should tell you everything you need to know, right? I mean, they could have put Trae Young in the game. They put Sabonis in the game, in the All-Star game, right? So it's an interesting thing, right? He's definitely taking a step back. I expected him to take a step back. I expected the team to not be a good performer. Back to the NBA preview episode where we talked about that. He was a guy who benefited from being legit the only scorer out there. And that's not the case now. And he's just not performing the way that he was last year even. So it's an interesting thing. Yep.
He posted up at the Wayne show, and now he started a daycare center, so he's leaving Luke.
Yeah, no, you got definitely a lot of noise in the background, but we're actually at a Luca Nation listeners house here near the car show. I'll bring them on in a minute. They can come say hello. But yeah, listen, Trae. I love Trae. I think he'll be fine. This is just not the year. You know what you said about Tatum in the offseason? Trae is a is a perfect example of somebody I'd buy in the offseason. I mean, a great, just, high level pricing on him, right? Before the season started, his PSA 10 silvers, I saw them going off over $4,000. I remember selling them for less than that, going, wow, look at them fly. But they're half that now. And in some cases, you can get them for less than half that.
Trey in the off season is that girl in Not Another Teen Movie, when everyone thinks that he's gonna turn hot but never does.
Well, no one will ever say that Trey's gonna turn hot. Look at that hair.
Are you talking about me or Trey?
No, Trey. So Giannis, I like Giannis, man. I like Giannis. I watched Giannis play the other day, and everybody's talking about Zion. What a game he had.
Talking, would you invest in him?
Yeah, no, I like him for. I mean, he actually outdueled Zion. I mean, he had a better game than Zion. He played better. I mean, that's not the measure of greatness, obviously, but this is not the year I'm buying him. I like him. All right, I do. I like Giannis, but he's not winning this year either. He's somebody I would potentially buy in the offseason or even in another season. I think he wins when one of two things happen. One, easiest, he leaves Milwaukee. Two, Milwaukee brings somebody in to play with him that's legit, like a Luka or something like that. What's up? You look surprised. You look shocked. So
remember,
your GameStop stock just got cut in half.
So you remember our guest, Stephanie Sutter? So
yes.
I'm on Top Shot, right, waiting in queue for my pack. I'm at 3,000 away, so I'm pretty close. 4,000.
Wow, I'm like 187,000 away.
But you know how there's a Twitch thing on the side? So it's Steph's. Remember how she said she had a twin sister? It's her twin sister Jennifer on the Twitch, and I didn't expect it. And you saw my Facebook features. Maybe Jordan will clip that moment, and I didn't expect Jennifer.
Well.
Let's keep going. We're doing an episode there.
Oh, now you got the daycare going on in the background.
Yeah, it's crazy how this younger generation wants attention but doesn't want to work for it.
Look, she's still behind you. Look at that. Hey.
Let's deliver a good quality product to our Luka Nation because they don't care about.
So the Giannis.
They care about
Giannis. I like Giannis. I think he'd be great, but like I said, he's not doing it this year. He's not somebody I would invest in this year. We've sold almost all of our Giannis stuff. I think there is an upswing for him in a year or two, definitely, because he's too good not to have that. But to win a championship, which is what he's going to be measured on now, he's got the individual accolades. I think he needs another piece, which means he's either leaving there or they're going to add somebody like. I'd love to see him and Luka paired up. That'd be great.
It really would be. Okay, and the last two are going to get good, and you're on the other end waiting for these. You have asked yourself, I guarantee, if you should buy it. First one, Zion. And I saw and this is a great. Whoa! Look at he's ready. He's ready to go.
Well, because
overrated,
you were going here.
Overrated to underrated.
So it's funny. Just to take a second, I was planning today to come in and talk about Zion because not as a pick, because I just gave him as a pick, but because I went to today's show with a stack of Tatis, figuring, all right, I'll give somebody 2 Tatis for a Zion PSA 10 Prism. I'm trading in their favor. They're the dealer. The whole deal. Tatis has been over 3. Some have sold for 4. Zion's 588. Someone would be happy to give me a Zion PSA 10 Prism for 2 Tatis, especially with baseball season coming and the whole deal. You know how many I found at the show today? 0. None. Which I thought was very interesting. I don't know if people sold them all out already.
Wow, Cage.
I'm
getting my moment right now, live on the air.
Nice. Maybe I just got to the show too late and everybody came in with the same idea and they all bought up the Zions. I saw Jaws, a lot of Jaws in the cases. I saw a lot of other guys in the cases. I did not see any Zions, which is interesting thing. So what do I think about Zion?
Going for? I would assume 400 or less.
Yeah, 400. 400 was what most people asked. You probably could have haggled into the 3s.
Crazy, right?
Well, listen, I like Ja. One guy had it was very weird, like a select gold hybrid Ja out of 10. I'm like, what is? I don't even know what this is. I don't even know what the price of that. It wasn't graded. So, but yeah, no, Ja's down. So Zion looks good, man. But I'm not a complete buyer on Zion yet. I mean, I dip my toe in Zion now because he's getting down towards 500 on the PSA 10. I'm not a complete buyer on him yet because I do watch his games. I just feel like at any moment he just looks like he's going to come down the wrong way or, Ja did, but Zion looks like if he does, it's going to be bad. He just doesn't. It's very weird. He just doesn't look like a basketball player. He just doesn't. He's got like a weird. Sometimes they'll catch a shot of him.
Similar said about Shaq when he played.
No, because Shaq was big, but Shaq was in shape, especially in the beginning of his career. He was tall, he was in shape. Shaq Diesel. Towards the end, he was a little out of shape, but that's towards the end of his career. Zion looks like Shaq at the end of his career. So, I mean, it's just weird. It's weird when the guy who has the most hype right now, the best thing most people are saying is, "Hey, he's been able to stay healthy." That's just like a ticking clock.
I think of it actually the opposite, right? Once that objection goes away, is he priced at 1,000 if a Luka's 1,200?
I think the last I looked, we're closing in on 16,000 PSA 10 Zions for Zion.
So that's my second question. I want to buy into Zion, but I don't want to buy into him through such a volatile stock like a Prism. Do I look at a select? What do I look at? What would you play? Would you play like a blue or a red Zion Prism out of 49.99?
Probably would buy one of his Series 1 moments that's not the block. He has other moments that are 1,400, 1,500.
Oh, he's going top shot. He's an addict. He can't go 1 minute without top shot.
But the block one that's out of 1,300 and change is over $10,000. But the handles and the assists that are like 1,400, 1,500, those are only like $3,000, $4,000. No, so obviously not that. I don't dabble in the other stuff. I mean, I might think about getting one of the numbered ones. I might, try to get like a red or a blue. I mean, they're obviously going to be very expensive. Maybe a silver, because even the silver PSA 10s, there's not a huge amount of them. Once you get away from that standard bearer Prism, who knows what it's going to be? People might like Select. They might not like Select. People might like the Optic. People might not like the.
What about National Treasures? Do you go that direction?
If you have a lot of money, sure. Those are not cheap at all. But National Treasures, you go for like an RPA,
All right. Luka Nation, you see this guy. I can't talk about Top Shot for 1 minute. And in January, he was arguing with me about Bitcoin.
You're buying your pack.
I'm quick. So a little fun fact for Luka.
It's true. I'm Captain Blockchain.
Yes, it is. Your payment's going to be processing, but don't worry. I've heard from a lot of people it might not complete, but you're going to get your pack in your account. So just don't panic. Last guy. You're on mute.
I still have 104,000 packs. 104,000 packs. People in front of me to go. So I'll be making my purchase at 3 a.m.
I love it. Okay. Kevin Durant.
I like Durant. I didn't love Durant to begin this year. I like Durant a little bit more. I can't buy Durant because everybody's on him. Everybody says Durant's on the price. Everybody says Durant's great. Everybody says Durant's going to win. And to me, at the very least, priced into Durant right now is him making the finals. I don't think he has to win a championship this year, but I think they are right now the clear-cut favorite to get into the finals out of the East, which, it's not the easiest thing in the world. There are 2 or 3 teams that could definitely give them a run. Maybe even the Sixers. Who knows? There are teams that could definitely match up against them. I don't know what their answer is for Embiid right now. I don't think they'd have one. So, matchups obviously are an interesting thing. And I think you could see Durant's cards potentially take a step back if they don't make the finals. So I'm a little nervous on Durant for right now.
So if you guys look at the Topps paper Durant card, that card has taken a bit of a step back. That's an $1,900 card right now. That is very, very low pop. If you actually compare that card to I think it was next year's or maybe 2 years from there, the Steph Curry Topps. Curry's much more expensive, much higher market cap. And I think Durant is a great kind of buy the hype, sell the news thing with him. So what's cool right now is he's actually injured. So he is basically an opportunity to buy his cards at a dip. And I actually don't think you wait till the finals, Cage. I think you wait till the Nets are maybe 1-2 games into the playoffs where they start comparing Durant to LeBron. Nets, Lakers. You know how ESPN loves doing that, right?
Yep.
They start promoting it. They start talking about, oh my God, New York, LA. It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be the best playoffs finals ever. And you sell into that strength. I think that's a $3,000 card minimum in April and early May. And I think this is a really fun type of play where you can buy 5-10 Durant paper PSA 10s. When they appreciate, you could sell 6-7 and have a huge profit and also hold that card long-term too. And I love plays like that.
I like it. The paper, it's cheap right now because everybody loves Chrome. Everybody looks at paper and says, paper. But I think you're right. I think it's one of those times where the paper actually will win the day because the pop is not huge on it. So,
and if we've chased Mosaic Select Optic, I'm pretty confident that with this modern sell-off, people after it are going to start deploying money into paper. Like if they've bought Optic and Mosaic, I think paper stands a chance. And we've even seen that with the Kobe paper. That used to be like a $200 card.
I'm with you. The Kobe paper is a cool card too. Also low pop-ish. So, so my play, right? I love the Durant stuff. I love the NBA stuff. I mean, it is the time to start thinking NBA. Somebody told me the other day that Joe Rogan's base card from the first UFC set in 2009 was selling around $500. It's taking a step back, but obviously Rogan's got some popularity. But, it's I was shocked by it, so I started looking stuff up. And I've kind of been cautious on the UFC stuff because, I know there's a lot of it out there. It just was never graded. So right now the pops are a little bit off and you name it. And I also think that people are a little nuts about Conor McGregor. So I started doing a little research for you guys and I want to give you a play, right? So I happen to be at the house of the guy who got me into UFC cards. We're talking about 2010. I'm at a bar and this guy comes over and, it's his wife and my wife are friends. And he says, hey, I just sold this card and, I got a couple $100 for it. They're selling for so much money. And it was an Anderson Silva blue ink at the time, 2009 Topps UFC card. And, so that got me into the cards. I'm like, get the hell out of here. UFC cards are selling for that much money. And, what's funny about it was, I went into them like crazy. And then of course it died. Now when I look back, you wouldn't believe what these things are selling for. But people are all over Conor McGregor. I think McGregor is overrated. So I happen to be at my friend Matt's house today. His wife, Dana Vanessa 85. Got to give her a follow. One of our first followers. She's done, right? Are you done?
I'm done.
She's done. So Matt is here, and Matt gave me a whole earful about basically the underappreciated UFC guys. So I started looking, and there are a ton of them who are undervalued. Number one, Nate Diaz. You probably even know the name. You're not a UFC guy because he's the one who gave Conor McGregor his first butt whooping, right? You can buy
He's a pretty arrogant fighter, if I remember.
He is, and he calls him out. He's an arrogant fighter, exactly. Which, by the way, if you're gonna fight, you gotta be a little arrogant, right? I mean, that's part of the deal. So take a step back from Nate, and I'll give you the Nate stuff in a second. Just a quick history on the UFC cards and where I'll focus here. 2009 round one is the only thing I would ever tell you to buy. It is like buying 1952 Topps baseball, right? It's like buying your 86 Fleer basketball, okay? It is the first Topps set. And Topps is now out of the game because this year Panini is going to get into it, which is going to increase people looking at the stuff. Panini got the UFC license coming into this year. It's going to be Top Shot UFC. I don't know what the hell they're going to call it, but the same company's doing that. That is the OG set and was not printed like crazy, which is why the Joe Rogan card with his weird knuckles and his skin condition are $500. I'm telling you, take a look at the card. It's hideous. I don't know how he allows it. He's probably buying them all up himself because nobody looks at it. There are a ton of great cards in there. Dana White is a little underpriced. I'm going to give you the name of some guys who are in there underpriced that are, real greats of the game. It's like buying your Jordans, your LeBrons, your Durants, your Kobe's when everybody else is buying Luka, right? So George St. Pierre is in the set. Royce Gracie, which is spelled with an R, but it's pronounced like an H. That's Brazilian. Royce Gracie. It's card number one of the set. The original, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu guy. UFC 1 beat Art One Glove Jimerson, right? So rookies of Gracie, George St. Pierre, Anderson Silva, Randy Couture, Chuck Liddell, Chuck the Iceman Liddell. Big names in that set that for whatever reason, people are not looking at right now. People are buying Conor McGregor, and that's it. Izzy Adesanya, people are buying. Izzy Adesanya. And there were people at the show talking about UFC cards. All right. I was in the trade room. People were asking, hey, you see any UFC cards there? There were a couple of sealed boxes way overpriced, but none of the dealers had UFC cards. You know what I did see? A ton of Stan Lee Mr. Marvel cards in cases. People were on it already.
I think that card's going to be pretty legendary. Guys, so as Cage was talking, I looked up the Joe Rogan skin condition.
You see the card? You see the card with his hand holding the microphone? It's gross, right?
First off, I can't believe that's even a card because he's like a commentator and like he's interviewing people. People are selling that for $1,200.
Yeah. You're probably looking at the what's called the silver, which is out of 288, which is a really cool card, and that's the second part of this thing. If you can get the silvers 288, those are pretty awesome. There's gold versions also that aren't numbered.
$1,000.
Yeah.
So Joe Rogan Raw card. Who's gonna buy it?
I'm gonna tell you something. I sold Dana White has a rookie card in there. And I had the red 1 of 1, numbered 1 of 1 of Dana White, and nobody gave a crap about it. Me and one other person, we owned it halvesies. We split a whole bunch of cards. Ultimately, I wound up selling it to him. It sold for like $4,000, which today I can't even imagine what that card would sell for if Joe Rogan silvers are $3,000. But look at the set; it was not produced in great quantities. And a little tidbit for you: there's an insert set in there called Victorious Debuts. Okay. It's a gold set, right? And it's got an Anderson Silva rookie. It's got a Nate Diaz rookie. Take a look at Cain Velasquez. That was the heavyweight champ who beat Brock Lesnar, took the belt from Brock. But stick with Nate, stick with Anderson Silva. Those cards can be had for $10, $15, $20 at most for really good condition ones. And these are ones where people are starting to grade them now, but they have not graded them. The UFC community didn't grade any of this stuff. So you can probably still find some raw ones on eBay and grade them yourself and have, low pop card. The current stuff, no. I mean, there's Topps Chrome to this stuff. There's Finest. There's all kinds of stuff. Panini's going to overproduce the hell out of this because UFC is very popular now. But ultimately, what you want to do is you want to go back to the original stuff. And 2009, not that long ago, but it is the first set. So there's my play for you guys. Take a look at those 2009 cards. You can get some of those base BJ Penn, Royce Gracie, GSP, Anderson Silva, Nate Diaz. You can get some of those guys, some of those names real cheap.
You know what's cool? And I think this is, kind of part of the – I'll explain and then So UFC hasn't had the run-up like other kind of – like tennis. We would have never in a million years thought that tennis would have a run. But it did because – as the hobby expands, people are looking for their own niches, right? And then the niches, a $10, $15, $20 card in UFC can go to $200 with this demand. What's cool is I don't think any other podcast has given you the analysis that Cage just gave on exactly why it's happening. It's not go buy this card or that card or this card or that card. It's, hey, 2009 is the first top set. I even saw the look in your eyes. It was like, I did some research. I know my stuff.
Yep.
I love it, Cage. I think this is part of the reason why we're one of the fastest growing podcasts out there is we provide the insights. And I mean, dude, that's a great play. I think UFC is going to see a run like a lot of these other sports have, and it just hasn't had it yet. Why wouldn't it? It has the popularity.
Yeah, it was one of the only ones that was going through all of this, right? So, they kept putting on events through all this craziness.
But no one's even focusing on UFC.
I mean, the diehards are. The David Pecks of the world for UFC are, and they're going to be the ones making all the money. So might as well you get in on it early, right? You get in on early, that's when you make your money.
I love it. Luca Nation, you guys know we're expanding. We're bringing you guys more content. More and more people from the audience are reaching out and saying, can I help? Can I be a part of what you guys are doing? We're always looking for good talent. We have an amazing team behind us. And we really, really, really want to change the hobby. We want to make education, I guess, with a bit of levity from Cage. Cool. If you guys want to join what we're doing, just send us a DM. We love you guys.
Yeah, man. Thanks, Luca Nation. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for spending some time with us on another episode of the Lucas, Tigers, and Bronze Oh My podcast. Do us a favor and like, subscribe. You know what? don't just like and subscribe. Everybody does that. If you like us, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your enemies, tell everybody. And we hope you got something from spending some time with us today, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.